Hello everyone, happy new year. I haven't talked to you in a while. I took a little break, aka my mental health fell apart and I had to weld it back together, but I am back. Today I am sharing with you the books that I plan to start in January. I'm wording it that way because who knows if I'll finish them before the month ends. I really want to savor books this year, one of my goals, and a couple of them are pretty chunky. Chunky books are the best books though, so I'm not complaining. We're going to start with my little reading goals list and then I'll show you the books that I want to read. But before we start, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. I think it's great timing that I'm working with them today since it is a new year and it can be both invigorating for some and incredibly stressful for others, which is where BetterHelp comes in. They are professional counseling done online. Their goal is to raise awareness, fight stigma, and to provide support for those suffering from all ranges of mental health. So if you don't want to see someone face to face, if that is like very intimidating to you, I totally get it. You don't have to. And it's super easy to get started. You just fill out a questionnaire to help assess what your specific needs are, and then you can schedule video and phone sessions or exchange messages if you want to, and it's unlimited. And if you don't mesh with your therapist, you can request a new one at no additional charge. Plus, they are way more affordable than your typical office offline therapy, and you can sign up for financial aid. If you or somebody you know is struggling with their mental health, please share BetterHelp with them by using my link in the description box below. You'll get 10% off your first month. Thanks again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. So my reading goals this year, I said this before, but I am not a goal-oriented person. Goals do nothing for me. In fact, they can actually demotivate me. So I need to find a new word to describe my intentions. Maybe that's a good word, intentions. Maybe you can help me out in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're the same way. But for the sake of this video, I will say goals. I have a really weird one that I'll be talking about in a moment. But first, the amount of books that I want to read. I actually set my Goodreads reading goal to 25 books. That is the lowest number I have ever set my goal at. I always do like 50 or more. I know I'll read more than 25, but this deviates the pressure for me a little bit. I'm not going to panic when it hits like July and it's the middle of the year and I'm like, oh no, I'm 10 books behind schedule. And then it gets to the end of the year where I fail my Goodreads reading goal and Goodreads tells me, heh, better luck next time, chump. I actually almost set it at 10. I'm here to read good quality books and give you banger recommendations, not sprint through a million books in a short amount of time. So simply 25 books in 2023. I'll be thrilled to hit that. Okay, so next is the weird one. Normally people commit to like reading a certain genre more or read more from like a specific author or a type of author. I heavily want to focus on reading more from a publisher, and that's Orbit Books. And I know what you're thinking, Holly, you already read a lot from them, and I know. Look at my shelves. I'm basically their bitch. But I'm moving that percentile up even more. So if there is an Orbit Books release that you're interested in, but not sure if it's worth it or not, I want to be the channel that you go to and help to help make that decision for you. That'd be such an honor. And plus, they rarely disappoint. They're always diverse and interesting, different. So yeah, have my reads be like 90% Orbit this year. And this includes Red Hook, by the way, who is like a branch of Orbit Books. I think those are my only two intentions I'd like to focus on this year. 25 books and read more from Orbit than I ever have before. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the books I want to focus on in January. There's only 3 here, which I'm sure people aren't used to for a TBR. Normally you see the thumbnails of people holding like 20 books, but nah, we're reading 3, baby. Because all 3 of them have like 5-star potential. And the first is The Sapphire Altar, which is the sequel to The Bladed Faith, one of my favorite books I read last year. I've already started it. I have it on my Kindle, but man, I really want to read it physically, so I might like switch over to that when I get a copy. But I am loving it so far. It's about a young boy whose kingdom is destroyed and he has to basically like become a medieval superhero to scare away all the baddies. It has a huge focus on vengeance and friendship, and I'm so pumped to see where the direction that the sequel will go, because the ending of The Bladed Faith was like pretty mind-blowing for me. It went in a direction that I didn't expect, and David Daglish has this thing that he does that he makes characters realistic, but you still never expect what their decision is going to be. And the ending of the first book with our main character Cyrus, I really want to know how he's doing, so I hope we dive right into that with this sequel. In the next book that I will for sure start in January, even though it doesn't come out until February, is The Tyranny of Faith, which is yet another sequel to a favorite book of mine from 2022, The Justice of Kings. It's basically The Witcher with a heavy focus on like justice being served rightfully with a really cool magic system and characters that remind me of Brandon Sanderson's characters, which is one hell of a compliment. It's really hard to talk about these sequels because I feel like I'm just like repeating the same things over again and I can't go into like any spoiler territory. But again, I'm just really pumped to see what direction this book goes. I'm pretty sure the author said that the magic system really thrives in this one. And you know me, I love a good magic system. Adult fantasy fangirl over here. I love how dark the first one was, and I'm wondering if this book is going to stay with that same theme. With how the first one ended, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to explore different areas of like the world, the different kingdoms. Religion is probably going to spark some heavy plot points in this book, I think, especially with some of the villains that we encountered in the first book. I'm wondering who this person is on the cover. I'm not sure if it's the main character. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Wow, I don't remember her name. It's been a year, people. Or if it's someone else that we meet in this sequel, but anyways, very pumped to get to it. Alrighty, so now we're going to be talking about the final book that I want to start in January. So like 90% of the book community, I backed Brandon Sanderson's Kickstarter last year, and they have rolled out one of the ebooks, specifically Secret Project #1, which isn't so secret anymore. So I'll be reading it. Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I feel like everyone's going to be reading this one. I know it would be more fun to read like the physical edition as it has really cool illustrations throughout, and maybe the ebook does too, but I don't want to like grease up the book with these grubby fingers, as I did pay a lot of money for it. 2023 is basically like the year of Brandon Sanderson with his new novels coming out, and I'm so freaking pumped. I am behind on my Cosmere knowledge. I have yet to read The Way of Kings, so I know I won't get the full experience. I know this, but I spent a lot of money on these. I'm gonna read them. No gatekeeping here. This one in particular is a nautical fairy tale fantasy, and the reviews that have come in so far already, because people are diving into this one pretty quickly, are 5 stars across the board, which makes sense. It is Brandon Sanderson. Okay, so those were some of my goals and also some of the books that I plan to start in January. I know it's not a whole lot. My goals list is very, very tiny. And my TBRs are also going to be very tiny because I put a lot of pressure on myself and I made myself incredibly stressed last year. I moved and that really threw a wrench in my reading. Actually, I was really on pace with everything. My mental health was really good. And then for some reason November came and then December, and then I had a really horrible thing happen to me on New Year's Eve. If you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, then you already know I lost my dog who was almost 14 years old. Ooh, fuck. And as you can tell, I've been really struggling with that. But anyways, I am back. Hopefully fully, we will see. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, I really ended it on a sad note, didn't I? I don't mean to. But anyways, tell me down below what books that you plan to read in January, because I would love to know. Or tell me below what books you're excited for that are coming out this year. There are so freaking many, and I'm sorry that I haven't done like new releases videos. I didn't do one for January, or I didn't do one for December, and I haven't done one for January yet either. I don't know if I'm going to. I might start that back up for February. Let me know down below what videos you want to see, and I hope you guys have a great day or night, and until we meet again, happy reading.